and welcome back to your Pilates and Psalms mat practice. Today we're going through the first half of class. We practiced all of the components. Hopefully you spent day one and maybe split that into 2 days, really understanding how to practice each move, each maneuver, so that this first half of class flowing together feels a little less confusing and a little more powerful and a little more impactful. A lot of times in these practices we can end up throwing and utilizing the wrong muscle groups, which we talked about in those breakdowns, and hopefully by utilizing those component understandings of the practice, today's flow will feel truly strengthening, truly stretching, truly magnetic for how you want to experience a Pilates practice moving in your body, in your life, and creating improvement for your spine, for all of your joint health, and of course, a little bit of toning along the way never hurt anybody and certainly boosts morale. So, if you're ready, let's get into it. So if you'll remember, we began at the top of the mat last time, and we'll do that again. From the first session, we stepped back with our right leg, so today let's step back with our left. Unless you've been seesawing and you want to do right and you want to do left, both, go ahead. Take the time, move into this practice, kneeling right, then kneeling left, just to even out your body, and I'll meet you on the ground. So at the top of the mat, we have our heels together, our toes apart, 30 to 45 degrees. We're zipping up from the front round of your heel through the inner thighs. Pubic bone is magnetized to navel. Tailbone is down, but we're not over tucking the glutes. And then we genie stack those arms. So I usually go left over right. Let's go right over left. Push up with the bottom, down with the top arm. Really engage in the shoulders and the full carriage. Step back left, and we're lowering. Remember that you can separate your step back as far or as shallow as actually works for you to maintain this control. Release the back foot, and today let's lower the hips right behind the heel without crossing at the ankle first, because the legs will end up out in front of us anyhow. Arms out in front, and zip that pubic bone up to the navel even tighter. So we're creating a little scoop right here in the front of the pelvic floor. The underbutt's turned on, and right here let's exhale and zip the ribs up even tighter under the heart. And from here, begin pumping, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you exhale, let's go ahead and take the right leg up. And breathe in wide into the ribs. And as you exhale, go ahead and take the left leg up. Glue those heels together, knees apart, keep beating, keep breathing. Fill the body with the breath and fill the space with the exhale. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. If you find you're hanging on your hips, lower one leg. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Nice and strong. Breathe in long. Exhale, belly pulls to the back. Again, in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe take the legs out for the last few here. Breathe in long, head to heels. Breathe out, strong belly to the back. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, big pumps. We're not slapping the ground today. And last time. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Lower the legs, lower the head and shoulders. Now, if that felt a little strenuous on the back, let's back out of it together. Curl up, remember, chin onto chest and ignition switch. Find your powerhouse. So if we were up here and lowering the legs first was a little tedious for you while staying curled, then just gently bring the knees into the chest and lower your shoulders, neck and head. And then we place the feet on the ground. Let's stretch the legs all the way out. Hopefully, if you're still needing that heel push, use it right here. This is the place to plug it in. Feet are hip width apart, whether you're gas pedaling in or not. Arms go right alongside the hairline. Breathe in. Exhale and This is our roll up. Remember, it's really strong. Breathe in, fill up the low back. Exhale, let's sharpen that C curve. And now, reach the seat to the feet, tailbones really tucking to the heels. And about as soon as you feel the low back touch the ground, zip the ribs a little tighter. And inhale again. Exhale. And over. Fill the low back. We're doing these slow. In a class, you might move a little faster. We're spending time really developing this strength and sharpening the front to back connection. Again, seat to feet. And reach the back long on the ground. Let's do 4 more. Exhale. You might see that the back of my thighs and knees come up a little bit, but my heels never lose connection. And that means that I am really working my powerhouse, even though there's still a little weakness right around my hip flexors, and that is because of some lumbar spine issues that I have that currently are a little more active than normal. But we all go through different things in our body, so if one day this looks really perfect or perfected to you in your eyes and feels really strong, and the next day it's not really jiving, be patient with yourself. Practicing, I gotta get my pants up, is about practicing. Practicing is the path. It is not about perfection per se. That's a lot of P's, but we're in Pilates and Psalms, aren't we? One more time. Inhale, exhale, and over. And now, this time we roll, 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 roll with control back down to the mat. You might have slid like me, so maybe inchworm back to the middle. And then from here, shoulders are down out of the ears, fingers are glued together. Left leg is long and flexed. And let's really quick just find hamstring and heels like we did in our practice sessions. So breathe in, exhale, dig the heels into the mat. Breathe in, exhale, dig the hamstrings into the mat. If your thighs light up, if you get a little cramp, just shake it out, that's okay. Breathe in. Ooh, there's mine, right on time. And exhale, heels. And one more time, breathe in. Exhale, hamstrings. And then let it all go. And let's put it together. Breathe in. Exhale, everything at once. Heels and hamstrings. There we go. All right, arms are long. Right leg floats up to the ceiling. Again, if that's a little hard on the low back, pull the heel into the butt and then stretch the leg up to the sky. All right, turning out in the socket. Toes are long, they're not curled on each other. We cross, drop quick, pick up slow. Again, this is your one leg circle. We kind of changed it to one leg oval, didn't we? We're staying inside the frame of the mat. We're squeezing the left inner thigh against the cross of the right one. And let's do 4 and 3. 2, keep your eyes straight up to the ceiling if you can. And 1, looking down the line of your body really changes what's happening in your spine. So as much as you can when you don't need to see me, eyes straight up. Again, open a little bit, just outside the edge of your frame. It's quick because it's heavy. It's slow because it's heavy. Heavy things fall fast and they're slow to be picked up. Let's keep this going. 8 and 7. Letting your body work with gravity. 6 and 5. 4, strong practice here. 3. Woo, I'm on fire today. 2 and 1. Good, and we just lower that leg down to the mat. Let's let it all go. And we'll have a 1, 2, 3 hamstrings and heels. Here we go. Breathe in. And left leg up. Turn out inside the socket. And again, cross, quick, slow. And again, glue those shoulders to the mat, fingers and arms nice and long. That's gonna help us keep the back of the neck nice and long. And we keep this going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we reverse it. If your pelvis starts wobbling, you've lost that right inner thigh squeeze. So keep it up. Open a little, cross a lot. This leg that's moving gets longer with every rotation. It doesn't start to get soft because it's challenging. We reach longer out of the hip socket. And 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm feeling it. 1, and lower with control. Again, let's let it all go. Big inhale, exhale, heels and hamstrings, arms up in line with the hair, and we roll up. I really needed this today. I don't know about you. Breathe into the low back. Exhale and sharpen that C curve. Define your capital C. Drag your left heel in, and then your right one. Reach your tailbone to your feet. Remember, this is a continuous sensation, action, not just one movement and we let it go. So reach and keep reaching so that you see that little scoop in the front of your pelvic floor, or at least sense it, and keep that to pull your heels into your butt, right? Notice that I didn't lean back and pick up. That was all hip flexors and I really felt it. Maybe try it once just to note the difference, especially after those one leg circles. You'll really feel it up here if you're using this instead of your glutes, your hamstrings, and your deep pelvic floor muscles. All right, so let's set it again. And scoop the pelvis, pull the hamstrings, heels come in tight, they glue together. We place our hands. Now remember, we have to keep pulling the heels in tight the whole time. And we deepen that C curve in the upper belly, in the powerhouse, and we're ready to roll. It's an inhale as we zip up our jeans to go back, and it's an exhale as we tighten our corset to come up. Here we go. And good, nose to the navel. You can hear me really working in my breath. Ooh, felt that one is slowed down. Had to keep it here and not here. Let's do 2. One more. Awesome. All right, let's keep this shape. Reach forward right from that sense of mom pulling the shirt over your head. And now stretch the left leg out as you reach your tailbone towards that left heel. Come to the tips of your shoulder blades. Right leg comes in. Remember, same arm as leg goes to the ankle. Exhale. And let's switch. Single leg stretch. And keep it moving. Rubbing the thighs against that midline. We have 5 and 4. 3. Strong straight legs, make it sharp. 1 more. And double leg, both legs in. Let's keep it going. All the way out. Scoop it in. And 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 1 more. Now this is your first class, pull through with me, so I'm going to give you a little break. By the end of this series, you should be able, or will be working towards, hanging on to ab series all the way through, but we'll take a break every 2 exercises, okay? For today, just today, you guys. All right, let's put that left foot down. Let's take the right leg up. Now remember the different options I gave you in scissors. Everybody, whatever variation you're taking, let's draw chin to chest if we can. And then ribs, breathe in. Knit them together for your powerhouse to come up further. Find the back of the leg where you're working, and we move that muscle into the bone and really iron it up, okay? Here we go. A little bit apart, all the way. Scissor and extend. Cut a little bigger, and we switch. Keep it moving. And 4. Switch. 3. And switch. Rub that middle line. 2. And switch. Legs keep getting longer. However long you made it the time before, make it longer than before. All right, and we have our lower lift. Fingertips making puddles in the back of the head. We have our turnout and pelvis tilts. We get a little more lumbar curve, and then we zip it up. And 4. Woo, trembling in the belly today. 3. Exhale. 2. 1 more. And bend the knees, put the feet down, lower the head, neck, and shoulders. But you can see that would be a great place to go ahead and start crisscrossing from our upper body position. However, this may be a time today where holding that core crunch from your powerhouse just feels like, oh, it's getting into my neck. So we want to pause, and we'll keep building that strength together. All right, let's take a big inhale. Exhale and chin to chest. Breathe in again. We'll shoot the right leg out at a high angle as we exhale and curl a little deeper. Good. Hands behind the head, left knee in, and we twist towards it and cross. Good. Pause each side and try and get a little sense of lift between in your chest. Good. And criss and cross. Let's keep going. For 4, and switch, twisting deeper. 3, and switch, really burning. 2, giving myself 1 today, you guys. 1, and twist. Awesome. From here, arms and legs to the ceiling. Let's scoop. So from our armpit, it's like we're gathering a cylinder of water, and we scoop it up to the center. And as we do, we press the legs away, curl up, find a teaser, open the legs, and control down. Now again, if that felt a little tedious on your low back, let's back up together. And we have the arms and the legs up. We're going to scoop again. Watch if you need to. Put the feet down. It's still just the right amount of effort. Stretch out, and we can really control keeping that effort right up here in the solar plexus in our powerhouse as we develop the strength to continue. Remembering that our feet are just a little wider than the mat. Let's put our pubic bone down, but not let that make us hinge forward. We still draw the ribs in and up, and look at how that reshaped the stack of my spine. So a lot of us are starting here. I'm going to digress for a second. We're either hanging out in the back. Remember, if you need help getting your pubic bone forward, go get a blanket right now while I'm chatting and stack it underneath your hips if you didn't already have it ready. And it should hit right at the edge of your sits bones, what you may feel pushing into the mat right now. And then once that's set up, press pause if you need to. We've got the pubic bone down. That may make us feel like we're hinging. So pubic bone down, ribs, powerhouse in and up, turned on. We're not arching back. We're just tightening our corset. Flexed feet, we sit up nice and tall, a little string pulling through the crown of the head on an inhale. Exhale, and powerhouse pulls back and moves our spine forward. That's awesome, isn't it? Like the way that energy can move things sort of around. And then hug the outer hips in And grow the spine up nice and tall. Again, big exhale. And squeeze the glutes, hug the base of your flower pot, and grow your sunflower stalk up, up, up. Let's do 4 more. Lift, and big exhale. Squeeze, and lift. 3. Let's pause here. Breathe into the low back, fill it up. And let's sharpen our C right here. Good. And again, hug the hips, stack that spine. 2. And hug, stack. 1 more time. Now keep this shape. Remember, we're reaching for the back of the calves, maybe the very tip of the calves. If you don't have that range of motion just yet, grab where you can, but remember, never on the joint, never behind the knees. So it may be up here, but hopefully you're getting past the knee just a little bit. And go a little bit further. Flex the feet and excellent. From here, push the legs, hamstrings and heels, maybe more hamstrings, into the fingers that are underneath it. And then exhale, pull the ribs a little more back, lengthen the feet, but keep the toes flexed so it's kind of a point, like a little Barbie foot, and just feel that stretch from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then from here, release your hands, scoop up the water, the cylinder of water with your armpits to your fingertips, reaching your seat to your heels, start gluing the inner thighs together, and then zip up your corset all the way to the ground, arms down. Drag your heels to your bottom, toes to the sky. Turn out, find your Pilates stance, keep reaching. This is an important one, to keep the shoulders out of the ears. So it's not just to the ground, it's past the feet with the arms. We have to keep this active here, otherwise the neck will get very short and we lose the natural curves of the spine. All right, let's lean the hips to the right, feet stay even and hips stay stacked, and we pivot the pelvis and make sure that the lowest ribs on the side we're leaning towards stay connected to the ground, and we're up. And we're keeping these a little shallow because we're beginners, right? Lean to the left and pivot, and we're trying not to only move inside the hip socket. We're not just moving the legs. Again, we lean and we loosen the corkscrew. Whoo! Feeling it, babies. To the left, and we all the way around. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, breathe in, stretch the left side, and exhale on the left. Breathe in, stretch the right side. Now I know I'm moving my arms around, but I can because I've developed the strength for this practice. Please do as I say and not as I do. Keep your arms long and glued to the mat. 2, and to the left. One more each side. We lean and pivot the pelvis. One more time. Keep reaching the arms. The neck's going to want to try to get short. Don't let it. So one more thing I'd like to akin this to, any mathematicians out there, or maybe you're a baker, right? We have that compass. In geometry, we use the compass to draw really nice circles and arcs. If you like to make pies, you might use a compass cutter to make a perfect pie-shaped circle in your dough. We want to think of the pelvis as sort of the anchor of that, or the center of your tailbone, right? Or the space between your pubic bone and your navel. Through there is that plumb line dropped to, I'm going to sit up to talk to you for 1 second, to where the anchor of your compass is, and then up to your toes. From your toes, there's sort of an imaginary cutting edge of your compass, and we want that edge to trace right around your own pelvic bowl, right? So it's like that drop is tracing the tip of the edges of your skin. So if that's happening from that center, it has to happen from here. We can't really gauge that from the leg. You might, if you go this big, then your cutting line is actually going into the ground somewhere, isn't it? So we want it moving from the pelvis so that that line hits right around the edge of the pelvis as it moves. Hopefully that's a little more helpful. Let's keep going. All right, so we just finished. Our legs are in the air. We've still got our Pilates stance, big squeeze in the inner thighs. Let's use that same midway teaser roll up. Arms up, chin on the chest, and scoop the cylinder of air, maybe bend the knees if you need to. Stretch the legs out, stretch the arms out. One other option I want to give you as we're moving into saw, if you have a small space, like you're in a living room or you're traveling and you're between a bathroom wall and a bed in a hotel room, one of my favorite ways to modify this is to fingertips behind the head. This also helps me practice for two things. One, making those little pedals with my fingertips, and two, giving my neck a little bit of traction so that I can practice for another exercise called the neck pull that's coming up. I don't think we're doing it today, but it will be very helpful in the future. So lifting, 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 and let's twist. Now again, we don't want the legs skewing, so just twist. Today we're going from the twist first. And then from there, right front ribs through back left ribs takes the blow. Then we open the arms. Now we have room here, right? Shoulders move back away from the ears and pull apart. And as they pull apart, something is drawing us back in the belly, something is drawing us forward in the chest. And we exhale. Inhale up. If you're going from fingers behind the head, let's go that way again. Twist to the left. And curl left front ribs to back right ribs. The legs are stable and the arms open and they stretch apart, and we exhale. Inhale up. All right, let's keep flowing now. And exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Let's make it a little more flowy. And up. Two more. And lift, twist. One more. And lift, and lift. Awesome. Take your arms down to your sides. Squeeze the thighs together. Pull the heels in a little bit. Hands back. We're pivoting. Coming onto our belly. Setting up for our swan. Today, let's go a little further in swan diving. So feet are wide on the mat again. Again, you won't hear that in a traditional class. I'm giving that to you for two reasons. One, you're a beginner, potentially. And two, three reasons. Two, you're not with a teacher in your physical vicinity, so you want to make sure that without eyes on your body, you're not doing anything that might necessarily feel a little less than good and is really more beneficial. And three, if you're like me and you have some lower back stuff and some tailbone stuff, wider legs just feels a lot better. All right, fingertips under the shoulders, elbows nice and high, nose towards the ground. We take the shoulders, we hug them into the ears, and we keep them there nice and tight. And think of as high as your shoulders are, your toes are reaching back from your hip points that strong too. Now keep that effort in the legs, but take your shoulders up to the ceiling. Keep them up to the ceiling, and as you peel them towards your hip bones, hugging your spine with your shoulder blades, your heart peels off the ground. And then let's pull the ground back with our palms, breathe in a little bit more, and hold. Now from here, lift the left thigh and squeeze the shoulders back a little more. And lower. I just did hamstrings and glutes yesterday, so I'm a little limited in my range of motion. It's tight back there, but let's keep going. Lift the right, squeeze a little more. And lower the leg, keep the chest up. One more each side, left and lift. And leg goes down, chest stays up, right side, and I'm not pushing that hard on the ground, okay? Right and lift and lower. Now let's hold this shape. Notice that as your legs lift, your chest feels like it wants to go down, but we're gonna maintain this saddle of the spine, this strength underneath, essentially the back of the heart line. And when you keep your eyes forward, maybe where the top of the baseboard is in your home, I know this is a lot of strength. I'm having you hold it for a reason. I want you to learn to hold on to it. If we lift both legs, but keep our eyes and chest forward towards the top of that baseboard, it kind of pushes us forward. Now notice I'm not bending my knees. It's a straight leg lift, but it's both legs. So practice that a few times. 5, 4, as you push your legs down, strengthen the back of the heart line. 2, 1, good, come down. I know, it's a big stretch. I am asking quite a bit of you, but I believe that you have it in you. So let's prime that again, and we'll keep building our swan dive. Nose to the ground, legs are long, shoulders kiss the ears. They reach up to the ceiling. They stay nice and high as they slide to the hips and peel the heart up. Let's do one primer. Right leg lifts, shoulders peel back a little more. Breathe in. There it is, and release. One more time, left, and release. Now, legs, and we should be light in the hands. If you're pushing up really hard, you're gonna find out once your hands come down, right? This may not be your true strength in your upper back, but it will come. But trying to hold up high means you're dumping into your low back, and that is not the point of this work, right? Let's pause for a second, take a break, and just know that the front of your powerhouse is right here. So the back of it should be in the same spot, like right around here. And if you were to do this circumference right now, ladies, if you're wearing a sports bra, you're gonna go, right at the bottom of that sports bra in the back and the front, this is the same place I feel connected. It's your diaphragm. That is the center point. Now your diaphragm kind of like canopies out and down, but essentially we're exhaling the diaphragm, but also we want to use the diaphragm sort of as a marker because of the lung capacity that we're trying to even out in utilization throughout the practice. There is a breath syncopated with the movement, but we're not there yet. The moves are complicated enough sometimes, right? So it's enough to think about. Rub the belly, pat the head, jump on one leg, and do it well. Okay, so if we are moving this way a whole lot in the first part of the class, then we definitely want to move this way a little bit, but without flaring the ribs too much, just shrugging the shoulders back, right? Because a lot of our forward movement sort of had a reach. Right, watch that happen in the shoulder. It's a wrap forward. And there is a concept of moving forward from the back and moving back from the front, but that is deep in Pilates teacher training, and we'll talk about it some other time. But again, for today, just remember, this part right here, we're utilizing that same space on the back so that we even out this strength with a stretch, this stretch with a strength, and support the middle, the softer spots of the body. I'm making this very rudimentary, but so that everybody gets it, we support the support system of this soft space that includes the spine, which could be more fragile if not protected in these strengthening ways. All right, so coming back down, nice and easy. Let's prime one more time. Shoulders to ears, to ceiling, to hips. Right leg lifts and we saddle the spine. And release, left leg lifts and we saddle the spine. All right, now both legs lift. Keep your eyes and chest towards the baseboard and just let your hand pressure be a little lighter, right? Press the legs down and squeeze the back up a little bit stronger each time. Let's see if we can add the hand lift to this. So as the legs lift, so do the hands. As the legs press down, so do the hands. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's just do 5 at a seesaw pace together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. In the future, we'll build on that one day that we don't even need hands. And if you're already there, great. This is just a good way to revisit the basics and understand even further, even more intelligently in your body, how the move goes, how the move can benefit you even more. All right, there are 2 more moves that we do on the belly, but we're not there today. We didn't break those down before. So come to hands and knees by exhaling, pull the belly button to the spine. Now, if this is hard for you, get up in a way that you need to, that's better for you. Otherwise, press with hands and knees through a baby plank, and let's tuck the toes, and we pivot back the way that we came. So these pivots may seem silly and not important to you. They are built into JP's original format because they make the class more concise, more effective, more fluid. We can get to it and then get to our day and really be effective in our time, in the time that we steward for stewarding the health of our bodies. From here, let's place our feet on the mat again, hips centered and arms out in front of us. And again, reach your seat to your feet, scoop the front of the pelvic bowl, little ice cream scooper right there, and then tighten the corset, and we come all the way down to the mat. Head and shoulders, arms reaching long so the neck stays long. Walk the feet in just a little because way out there is way too much hamstring. We're all gonna cramp up. All right, find the 4 corners of your feet. Find the shoulders grounded down. Find a little bit of knit right here so that we keep the thoracic spine down, and it's only the lumbar spine that's naturally, the low back that is, curling away from the ground. And let's lift our hips up straight to the ceiling. All right, so from here, again, remember, I don't have a big lift, I don't have a big space made under here because of my own lower back issues, but if you do, more power to you. Just make sure you're not cranking in that low back. We want to feel safe there. All right, arms reaching long. From here today, let's think about breathing the heart up over the head on an inhale, and then exhale, and this sounds counterintuitive, I know, because it looks like extension, but let's just exhale, hug the hips in, take the hip points a little higher. It works. 2 more times. Heart goes high, breathe in. Exhale, press to the inner edge of the feet, lift the hips up. 1 more time. Breathe in, breathe out. A lot more space from the ground though, right? Keep the hips reaching high, knit the ribs, and pull the tailbone up through the inner thighs. Keep knitting the ribs, keep reaching the arms long so the neck doesn't get short. Until the very end, we release the tailbone down and the hamstrings get to relax, and that feels so good. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in. Establish the shoulders, the arms long, the fingers reaching towards the feet, all 4 corners of them on the ground as we exhale and hips up. All right, again, limited range of motion to start. Let's see what 4 rounds of inhaling, exhaling, chest up, hips up does for us. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, in and out. In and out. 1 more in and out. And tug of war the spine down. So we use the powerhouse, pulling to the earth, and stretch the low back all the way down. Release. Breathe in. Exhale right back up. And heart opens over the head. Inhale. Hips straight to the sky. Exhale. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hold. Zip, zip, zip all the way down to the ground. Arms get longer. The shoulders want to come into the ears. Don't let them. Hips down. Whew, feels good. 1 more round, gang. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out, hips up. Let's see what 2 do for us. We did 4, 3. Now let's see what 2 do. Chest up, hips up. Chest up, hips up. Looks like each time we do less, but we've used a lot of effort the time before. Let's throw one more in. And roll to the ground. Each time we do this, the effort from the same maneuver gets a little stronger and more effective and takes us higher than it did the time before. So over time, we can build the strength to get to that full bridge with maybe just one inhale at the bottom, one exhale at the top. You never know. And some days we need to come right back to the beginning and be really kind with our bodies. All right, from here, let's take the arms up by the ears, breathe in. Let's use a right leg gas pedal to roll up. And stretch the left leg forward, breathe in. And exhale deep in that curve as you roll up and over your legs. From here, sit up nice and tall. Let's take the hands and stack them at the base of the neck. Remember, we're pushing a little bit forward with our hands, but not pulling with our arms. We've got the pubic bone down, the hamstrings and heels down. Let's lift the head up with the hands. And now close the ribs a little bit. We've got our spine twist. Breathe in. Exhale, don't let the legs shimmy, just twist in the torso. Inhale, lift the heart a little bit higher. Exhale, twist the ribs a little tighter on the water bottle of the body. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, and back to center. Let's just switch the stack of the hands. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Unwind. Good work. Let's take the arms up. Exhale, C curve. From here, drag the right heel towards the bum. Remember, we're not lifting, that's all hip flexor. We're dragging in. Tuck the tailbone towards the space between the heels and drag the left heel in. Now we're using all under glute, under butt, and hamstring. From here, exhale a little more. Inhale, pull the hamstrings back. Zip the pubic bone to the navel. It almost looks like rolling like a ball, but we're gonna cross the left ankle over the right one and rock forward and come to all fours. Perfect. All right, from here, instead of having hands right underneath wrists or wrists right underneath shoulders, let's walk the hands forward. I think I did that on day one. I think I said shoulders right under wrists. It's really easy to get the words backwards in here when you're talking and teaching, but you guys get it. All right, from here, tuck the toes and let's push an apex of the hips. Now hopefully the hamstrings, the calves and the Achilles tendon, the base of your heel and ankle feels nice and open from all that work we did on the floor, but if not, try and remember during class to keep your feet flexed. Pointed might feel easier, but it's not benefiting you as much, right? We want to open this whole posterior chain of the body as we strengthen the front, the anterior, and then vice versa. You see when we lay on our belly, our feet are pointed and we ignite the back body. So if you can think about it in those terms, this will get better. This stretch hopefully feels good. Get the pointer finger and the thumb and glue them to the ground, and then glue the space between them to the ground. Go ahead and let your head come down between your arms. And imagine you're squeezing, you're juicing. Let's go for cantaloupes with our heels. We're really trying to juice cantaloupes. That's big effort, right? So really get the heels pushing down. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Now, from here, come up onto your tiptoes, glue your heels together and your inner thighs zip together too. We're going to pull the ribs from the front to the back body. This feels a lot like our roll-up. Let's do that until our heart gets right over our head and between our wrists. From here, as much as we want to keep the legs back, if our upper body core strength is strong enough, it's going to force us to start walking those legs. But we're trying to hold on to that Pilates stance. So we're really only moving forward inch by inch until our toes get very close to our wrists. And we're still in that deep sea curve. Let's add to it by pressing our heels into the ground and zipping our tailbone to our heels, our pubic bone to our navel. And that's going to start the sensation of the roll back, right? Back down to the ground. And then right about here, we unroll. And this feels like our primer at the very beginning of class when we got down for our 100, doesn't it? From here. Remember, hips stay behind the ankles, ribs stay nice and closed, and we come up onto our second toe. I'm a little wobbly. All right. And we come up onto our second toe. Arms go wide. Whoop. Really wobbly today. Let's try that again. Arms go wide and down, lift up, roll to the ground with control. And that's it. You've made it through your first half of class flow. Hopefully that felt really good, really strong, really empowering and powerful. If there's anything that felt a little bit off, be patient with your body today, okay? Especially if this is new material. We're just embarking on a journey together and finding our way in due time to where every single one of these maneuvers will be strong in the way that your body is meant to receive it. It's very important to hold on to the idea that any movement towards, any effort towards a thing is doing that thing in the way that your body is capable. Your availability to it, your muscular availability to it, your joint availability to it, all of the things working in unison. On top of that, the mind-body connection. It is a big ask to be this connected, but the benefit of, and why we are syncing up something like Pilates with the Psalms, something like movement and stewardship of the body, conscious stewardship of the body, intentional stewardship of the body with a prayerful life. Well, gosh, I don't think I even need to explain it now, right? Prayerful life is something we have to be intentional about, something that we choose to do. And so you could go to the gym and just lift some weights and go for a run and go for a walk and never really know how to properly use these mystifying, beautifully, fearfully and wonderfully made bodies to their most glorious capacity, to their most glorious ability. In this space, we're stewarding them in a way that shows not only intention about how we move, intention to, or attention to intention. There's a lot of T words. But it's also, I believe, a practice, a moving practice of gratitude. To be able to steward your body in this very conscious way and to choose to do so is such a gratitude, such a moving prayer of gratitude to Jesus for all that he gives us in the way that we get to move through the world, carry his Holy Spirit in these vessels, and deliver the good news. So thank you for being with me here again today. I hope to see you next time for breaking down the second half of class and growing together in our Pilates and Psalms practice. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.